All right, this question is for Dan McClellan.
All right, let's see it.
And first off, Dan, I want to thank you for heightening my own biblical literacy. At this point, I should be paying you tuition.
That's very kind of you to say. I appreciate it.
Can Christianity's ritual of communion, the body and blood of Christ, be traced back to a cannibalistic cult of Dionysus, where within the cult they would literally have the blood and flesh of a human being? Was it directly copied, or is it just a similar motif? I'm just hoping to clarify if there was actually any connection. And Dan, I appreciate you.
Hey, thank you for a great question. I have heard this as well. I have never seen anyone provide any kind of literary, iconographic, or any other kind of archaeological data or primary text from the ancient world to substantiate it. At most, what I hear is that because wine is like Dionysius's blood, people who drink wine are drinking the god's blood, and so therefore Christians stole communion from the cult of Dionysius. I think that's a pretty big leap. I've never seen anyone provide any data from the ancient world that shows anyone else understood that connection that way. But there is a translation of the Bacchae that does kind of suggest this. The translation was popularized in Tom Harper's book, Water into Wine, and since Harper is the best-selling author of The Pagan Christ, you know it's good. And here Harper, in arguing for the connection of Jesus to wine as something that was originally about Dionysus, we have this quote from a translation of the Bacchae attributed by Harper to a Greek filmmaker named Michael Kakoyannis. And it starts off, "Next came the son of the Virgin, Dionysus, bringing the counterpart to bread, wine, and the blessings of life's flowing juices. His blood, the blood of the grape, lightens the burden of mortal misery. When after their daily toils men drink their fill, sleep comes to them, bringing release from all their troubles. There is no other cure for sorrow. Though himself a god, it is his blood we pour out to offer thanks to the gods, and through him we are blessed." So let's check out this translation. It does indeed come from Kakoyannis' 1982 translation of Euripides' The Bacchae. And the relevant passage is the top half of this page here. But there's a problem. This doesn't match any other translation, and it certainly doesn't match the Greek, which says absolutely nothing about any virgin, but refers to Dionysus as the son of Semele, and also says nothing about the blood of the grape or the god. Now, if you have access to the Greek text of the Bacchae, you can go confirm for yourself, but I found this handy side-by-side dual language edition to show you. And here's the relevant passage. I don't know how well you're going to be able to read it, but it starts in about line 277. It says, "The other one came later, born of Semele. He brought with him liquor from the grape, something to match the bread from Demeter. He introduced it among mortal men. When they can drink up what streams off the vine, unhappy mortals are released from pain. It grants them sleep, allows them to forget their daily troubles." So, the only actual evidence I have ever seen presented for this claim actually comes from a mistranslation by a filmmaker, which was then popularized because it was sensational, it was controversial. The only other evidence I've ever seen anyone come up with is just this argument that if you squint at these two things hard enough, the boundaries will blur and run together, and therefore they are obviously the exact same thing.